Well, Bernie is ready to go to the junkyard. I have successfully stripped every single thing I think we can possibly need for Gail's car and my car. But I wanted to do a follow-up video and show you what I think caused Bernie to catch on fire. I was looking at this thing, trying to pretend I was like a detective here, trying to solve a crime. And if you look at the hood, you can see where the hot spots were on the hood. Which, if you look in here, this is where I think the fire started. Right there. That is a pulsation dampener. And they leak gasoline. And it's at the end of the fuel rail. And the reason why I think it started here is because right here it was spraying out. Now I know that because when I bought my car, I bought this car when it was 2 years old. It was sitting, it needed front end work. It had been in an accident. And as soon as I got on the road, started to drive it. If you look right here, here's one that's not all burnt to pieces. Right here is the pulsation dampener. And that was leaking on my car when it was 2 years old. It had to go back to Hyundai for a warranty replacement. Because the second owner of the Elantra, the first person got a 10-year, 100,000 warranty, and the second owner got a 550. So the car only had 16,000 miles on it, was only 2 years old. And it had to go back for that. Now what I'm thinking, what Mike says was that it was at a shop getting head gasket put on it. So unless whoever was working on it didn't have an injector in correctly and started spraying fuel, I would think that any competent mechanic would have thoroughly road tested and make sure this thing was okay, because you can't give a car back to a customer with leaking gasoline leaking everywhere. What I think was the problem was that was leaking gasoline, and it just got to the point where either the people ignored it or it was a mechanic fault, hard to say, but one of the injectors started leaking. So I told Gail, she drives her car, if she ever smells gasoline, pull over right away, because if you have gasoline leaking, you got to deal with it immediately. There's no, well, I'll wait to the next stop, or I'll try to pull over when I can. If you don't want your car to go up in flames, you best be sure that you deal with that issue right away. That's what I think happened to it. The fuel was spraying all over the place, and it just sprayed over everything, because that's where the hot spot was. You look under the hood, you can see it looks like it was white hot right there, right where that area is. And there is just literally nothing left of this, nothing. The only thing I salvaged was the manifold and the exhaust system under the engine compartment. I did grab a light bulb, because those are insanely expensive nowadays. So I kept the manifold to make a turbo manifold for it. Took the only two sensors that were actually any good were down there. That's the crank position sensor, that's where that goes. Had to replace some of those on these cars. Just won't start, so got a spare one of them. And then I got a chance to look around and see, how much room I have to work in here for turbo, and I think there's plenty of room for that. So almost everything in the front suspension's out. Took all that. Took the mirrors. Took all the trim because we're painting Gale's. Cluster. Every single relay, fuse, radio, heater control, door regulators, door handles. All that's gone. The only thing we got to do is check. Gale's, I think, needs this solenoid over here for her locks. We just got her a key fob we got to program. So that's everything. Fuel pump assembly's out. There's a couple little items I got to grab off it, but cut some metal out of the quarter for her car for a repair. That wasn't too great a shape. Took the wing, pretty much cleaned everything out in the trunk that I could. Loaded it up with scrap because that's where it's going. Kept all the best wheels, put on the donuts because they're going. I zip tied up the gas tank because I took the straps because the gas tank straps on mine are rusting. So anything I could think of to save money in the future for getting parts out of this thing I took. So down the road, I'm looking forward to showing you guys this manifold, because like I said, we're going to turbo Gail's car, just for the fun of it. I've been looking at turbos and looking at some ingenious ways to turbo it without a tune, and it looks like for sure I can make it run about 7 pounds of boost. But we'll get back into those things later on. But yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to show this to you, show you what was left of this thing, and hopefully pretty soon it's going to be on its way to the boneyard, and I'm going to bring my other car home. I'll hopefully have that by the end of the month before the weather gets cold here. So that's that. So I'll see you guys again. We're making some new videos today, so while the weather's still beautiful. So we'll see you guys later.
Hey guys, you like what you see? You do? Fantastic. If you do, nope.
Oh, I know I do. I do.
Try again.
I do. All right, action.
Hey guys, you like what you see? You do? We got a car coming, so this video isn't going to work for us, so we'll get right back to you.
Damn. All right.